Punch Club is, as its own store page states, a boxing tycoon management game. Now, let's look at the definition of the word boxing. Boxing. Noun. The sport or practice of fighting with the fists, especially with padded gloves, in a roped square ring, according to prescribed rules. Okay. Now let's completely ignore that premise and discover the following. Is it possible to beat Punch Club without punching? So, what are our prescribed rules for this challenge? We are trying to beat the game and see the credits without ever performing a punch. So punching in a fight is not allowed. But that's not all. We also can't do any exercises with animations that have our protagonist punching. The one punch-related thing we can do is learn punching skills. So long as we don't ever use these new skills, knowing them is perfectly fine. With our rules prescribed, it's time to start the epic boxing career of No Punch Man by starting a new game at normal difficulty. Day 1. We have a pretty nice morning today. We wake up, do some push-ups, eat a pizza, then it's off to work. On the way to work, a couple of thugs do try to rob us. No matter, we'll just use our fighting skills to fend them off. Oh. Looks like we only have 2 moves available to us, a punch and a kick. And the game is forcing us to use both of them. And since our protagonist fights automatically once we select some moves for him to use in the fight, we have no control as to when or if the individual moves get used. That's a problem. Looks like the challenge may be failed already. Or at least it is in this universe. Here's the thing though. Perhaps it's alive and well in a parallel universe. If we start the game over, then we find that our starting moves are randomized. So what we do is we keep resetting until we have a kick and dodge as our starting moves. These are of course highly legal moves for us to use, which allow us to fight without breaking the rules. We do lose this fight due to it being an unwinnable fight, and then are approached by our very own mentor. And I have one thing to say to him. They used to call me Legs in high school. After a bit, we make our way to Silver's gym. This, of course, raises the question of how exactly we should train. The answer to that question lies in another question. Which of the 3 main stats, strength, agility, and stamina, do we want to focus on? Well, seeing as we can't punch, that would logically mean that we'll be relying heavily on kicks. And kicks require a good amount of agility to be effective. With that being the case, it would seem that raising agility should be our primary concern when working out. That should be fine, as there are 4 different exercises available at the gym that can raise agility. The skip rope, tire, punching bag, and speed bag. Unfortunately, we can only use half of them, as the punching bag and speed bag exercises are punching the bags, which we can't do. So it would seem that our gym trips will likely be dominated by jumping rope and whacking a tire. Let's of course not forget that we can still do push-ups in our garage as well, which is also an exercise that grants agility. Day 3. After training for a couple days, the time has come for our first fight in the amateur league. This first opponent is a bit of a joke and goes down pretty easily. What's a bit more interesting is the skill points winning the fight has gotten us. With these skill points, we can start getting new moves and traits, which should help us greatly in trying to beat more difficult foes later on. The skills we're going for this time were, in my opinion, fairly obvious choices. We're taking the Tactics Learner trait so we can progress further down the skill tree, and the move High Kick, because it's a higher damage kick, which seems to be like a pretty useful move to add to our arsenal. Day 6. Fight 2 in the Amateur League has once again gone quite well. We even got to try out our new kick, and I have to say that I like it quite a bit. That being said, it does use a lot of energy, so it's not just a flat-out replacement for a regular kick. Day 12. Today was quite lively. I apprehended a robbery and won a 4th Amateur League fight. This has left me with quite a bit of skill points, which I decided to use on the move Low Kick, which when it connects applies a status effect that lowers my opponent's agility and stamina. I also got the move Skip Attack, which can be useful for energy management. Day 15. Today we suffer our first loss in the Amateur League. A loss to our friend Roy. We do have enough skill points after that fight to get another skill, but the one I'm aiming for next is Do Not Fall Down, which would make our agility no longer be able to decay below level 4, which would be very important because normally our stats atrophy a considerable amount at the end of every day. Unfortunately, we need at least 4 agility to be able to get it. Currently my stats are at 1 strength, 3 agility, and 4 stamina. Getting the agility up would go so much faster if only I could use that speed bag, but of course, I can't. Day 18. I've won again. Not likely due to stat growth though, as I'm only at 2 strength, 3 agility, and 4 stamina. I have at least worked out a routine that should get me to that coveted 4 agility. The plan is as follows. I go to Silver's gym and use the jump rope and tire until I get tired of them. Then I return to my house and do as many push-ups as I can, then repeat and hopefully find a bit of time to work, buy food, and sleep between working out. Day 19. My workout routine has worked. No Punch Man is up to 4 agility and now has the Do Not Fall Down trait. He's also learning the backhand high punch so he can continue down the skill tree. So now he knows how to punch, but knowing is only half the battle. He just needs to not actually use it to still be fine. Today was also the day that No Punch Man was first smitten by Roy's sister Adrian. Cue the romantic subplots. Day 21. I won another Amateur League fight and used skill points to pick up the last skill before we could start going down the more specialized way of the Tiger skill tree. That skill is Rice Eater, which makes our agility training even more efficient. Day 23. I tried fighting a crocodile and lost. Badly. Day 26. I tried fighting a hog mutant and lost. Badly. Day 27. I'm sick of losing so much. I had been neglecting my training somewhat to let my strength and stamina lower a bit so my agility is higher by comparison, which should have raised my accuracy, but that approach certainly hasn't been helping me win, so I think it's time to get back to the gym, maybe with a training partner on occasion. This is also the day I unlock the Way of the Tiger skill tree. How exciting! And it's the day I participated in my first Ultimate League fight, which was a very close match, but one that I ultimately won. Day 30. I've been training hard and have gotten my agility up to 5, though it seems I'm not training hard enough as I lost both my fights today. The next major skill I'm angling for is Do Not Fall Down 2, which will keep my agility from falling below level 8. There are a couple skills I need to pick up before I get there, such as the Karate High Kick, which I got today, and the Wind Flow Dodge, which I plan to get next. I'm also going to need to get my agility up to 8 to be able to get the skill. Day 37. I beat that crocodile from earlier. His name was Bill, apparently, and I'm set to fight his brother Mark at some point. Also, I've got a girlfriend now, which is quite useful as I can get the In Love perk by being with her, which is useful because it lowers my food and energy consumption when working out. That should let us dedicate more time to working out and hopefully raise those stats a bit faster. Day 45. My training to get my agility up to 8 has been a very slow process. I'm still only at agility level 5. As for fighting, I've been slowly making my way up the Ultimate League, winning most of my fights there. In the Amateur League, I've more or less stabilized in positions 3 to 5. Just today I picked up the move Karate Kick as I feel like it'll probably be a while until I've got the agility to get Do Not Fall Down 2. Day 52. We have finally made it to 6 agility. That's not enough by itself to qualify us for Do Not Fall Down 2, but after we take an agility potion which brings our agility up 2 levels to 8, we most certainly do have enough to finally get the trait. Unfortunately, in my fervor for working out, I ran out of food and money, and am now too tired and hungry to work. Not a great situation. I guess it's trash burgers for me today. And while I'm here, why not a bit of street fighting as well? Day 54. I accumulated enough skill points today to get the very important skill, Rice Eater 2. This should help make my agility workouts even more effective. That being said, I don't plan on working out too much in the near future. I figure with my agility locked at 8, now might be a good time to work a lot and save up some cash. Day 69. I've got a full fridge and $207 in the bank. The time has come to start working out again. Our goal this time is to get agility up to 13 so we can get Do Not Fall Down 3. But just like last time, we really only need to get it up to 11, since a potion can get us the last 2 levels. So let's do it. Let's fall in love and start working out. And just to be clear, it'll be the same workout routine we've been using before: skip rope and tire at the gym for as long as tolerable, and then as many push-ups as we can do at home. We could have bought a Wing Chun machine, which helps with agility, but I'm pretty sure you use it by punching it, so that's a no-go. Today is also the day we graduated to the next level of the Ultimates League: Endurance Fights. Day 81. My stats are currently at 3 strength, 9 agility, and 6 stamina. I could have used my skill points to get the skill just before Do Not Fall Down 3, but since we're still ways out from our stats allowing us to qualify for Do Not Fall Down 3, I figured it would be prudent to get the trait Kick Dropper today. One other thing that I'll note is that the money is not running dry. I've been doing pretty well in my fights and have been getting paid so much for them that I don't have to do a normal job to maintain my lifestyle, and even enhance it a bit by riding the bus instead of walking everywhere. Which is great, as it leaves even more time for exercising. Day 84. Now I've acquired the trait Slave of the Wind, which is the skill just before Do Not Fall Down 3. Now it's really just a matter of getting our stats high enough to be able to qualify for it. Day 90. We are up to 10 agility now. Just one more level to make it to that magic 11. Also, I've graduated to the next level of Ultimate Fights today. Day 99. Today I got a new trait which should hopefully get us to agility 11 a bit faster. Rice Eater 3. Day 102. I broke my arm. This does not bode well for my training. Luckily, I can get it fixed in Chinatown, for a fee, of course. After recovering from that injury, I am able to train my agility up to 11, then take a potion to get it up to 13, and finally, we have Do Not Fall Down 3. And then after that, I beat Mark, no problem. Day 103. With my newfound strength, I beat that mutant hog from earlier. Day 105. Today is the title fight for the Amateur League against Mr. Kakusu, which was won quite easily with my greatly increased agility. I also got to the top of the Ultimate League today. I considered teaching the residents of Chinatown a lesson for the Dawn, but Mick ultimately talked me out of it. What I shall do now is fight my way through the playoffs to get a professional card to fight at one of the Dawn's big fights to get a medallion. Day 107. Today for the first playoff fight, it'll be No Punch Man versus Bill Wilson. He's a strong guy, but No Punch Man's roundhouse kicks managed to get the better of him. I also fought some more mutants because they meant my cat harm. After fighting those mutants, I had enough skill points to get the ninjutsu fan trait, which gives me a chance to increase my agility after successful dodges. Day 110. The next round of the playoffs is against Nick Dartius, another strength-focused fighter and another one that succumbs to the power of our roundhouse kicks. Later in the day, I fought another crocodile, Steve, and was once again victorious. I then met a raccoon and tried to fight some robots. Overall, a very eventful day. Day 113. It's time for the final round of the playoffs. This one's against a fighter named Manny. Round 1 was a very even fight. For round 2, I decided to be a bit more aggressive and switch out my low kick for my roundhouse kick, and boy did it pay off. By the time round 3 rolled around, winning the fight was basically just a formality. I then used my skill points to get the trait Controlled Fury, which increases my agility when I'm under 30% health. Then it was off to the Dawn to participate in his big fight and win this medallion. Oh. I broke my leg on the way back. How inconvenient. I guess my best friend can go in my place? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Oh. Well, clearly we must go to Russia and take revenge now. Welcome to Russia. Here we get to train on this wonderful outdoor equipment to raise our stats in preparation to take revenge. We are also able to take advantage of good old-fashioned Russian hospitality for a bed to sleep in and free food to eat. This means we can easily spend nearly our whole day working out. Of the 4 exercises available in Russia, 3 of them don't involve punching: sawing logs, splitting logs, and a chin-up bar. Of these, we'll likely be splitting logs and using the chin-up bar the most, since they can be used to get agility, which is something we would obviously like. Speaking of things I like, and don't let Joseph McCarthy hear me say this, but I like Russia. These workouts are way better than what we have back home. We may be training here for a bit more than just revenge. We may be looking at increasing our stats in a huge way to help us through the rest of the game here, so yeah, let's get on that. Day 241. I have finally returned from Russia. My stats have gotten all the way up to 6 strength, 25 agility, and 8 stamina. I have obtained the medallion and have my final goal in sight. I must get to the Mystery Island. In order to do that, I'll need to get to the top of one more league. The league to become World Champion. In order to participate in these fights, I'll need to build up my fame. My plan for this is to star in loads of movies, since they cost no time to produce. I'll then take those proceeds to set up a line of branded goods. With enough time, this approach should work. I just need to make sure my stats don't atrophy too much in the meantime. Luckily, this mansion is equipped with a great basement gym. This gym has a skip rope, tire, chin-up bar, and a push-up mat. Unfortunately, these exercises don't quite match how amazing our workout routine in Russia was, but they could certainly slow the decay significantly, and even more or less stabilize us at 23 agility, so long as all of our time is dedicated to working out. And that means no sleep. Energy drinks and coffee will have to suffice. Day 246. Our first fight on our way to becoming world champion is against the modern Mike. Things were a bit hairy looking early on, but towards the end of round 3 we started depleting his energy, leading to victory in round 4. Day 285. Did you know that you can't build up more fame than the amount required to fight the next person, and that fighting for the world championship doesn't spend fame, it just requires it? I didn't, and therefore wasted a bunch of time. Anyway, today is the day I finally got around to fighting the mighty Bruce. His build is basically just mine except slightly worse, so winning this match was not much of an issue. Day 289. Our next opponent is Rio, and this is almost a mirror match. We were able to get a slight edge with better energy management though, leading to yet another win. Day 293. Today we fight Kim, and let me tell you, he's strong and tough. His stamina is so good that my typical deplete their energy strategy doesn't really work. We lose this fight, we'll have to try something different next time. Day 294. I'm back. This time we're much more aggressive. We make sure that the Cobra Kick connects and poisons him. We also don't focus nearly as much on low kicks to apply debuffs, and instead go for flip kicks and roundhouse kicks for pure damage. This time, we win. Day 297. Time to face our last opponents, Hulk Hogan. I went too aggressive with this one. I kept running out of energy, and from there it was a vicious cycle that ultimately led to a loss. Day 298. Alright, Hulk, round 2, let's do this. Since energy was such a problem last time, I'm dialing things way back this time. No Cobra Kicks or roundhouse kicks, just low kicks and flip kicks. And would you look at who's running out of energy this time? Spoiler alert, it's not me. With that victory, we are now world champion and therefore invited to the mysterious island where we face our last opponent. That opponent is my brother. This is a fight that we win, and with this victory comes a victory over the game as a whole, and all without punching. So yes, it is possible to beat Punch Club without punching. If you enjoyed this video, a like, comment, or subscription would be greatly appreciated. I have tons of these challenge videos, so if you haven't already, you may be interested in checking one of them out. But anyways guys, until next time, I've been CMeeCraft, getting ready to roll into the next challenge. Goodbye.